Hello, Gaz Williams here, and I want to have a little look at the new update to Gadget, Korg Gadget, that's just come out, which includes a new gadget which is a bass amp simulator. So I was really interested. Gadget is, you know, mostly like a little sort of collection of synthesizers and the like. I think a few updates ago they brought out that Rosario gadget, which was like a guitar effects unit. In fact, if I look here, yeah, we can see Rosario, and like Durbin essentially has the same layout and the same set of functions, but is absolutely focused towards the bass guitar. Let's have a listen. So creating a project here, first thing I need to do, I'm going to select the Durbin, it's going to open it up, I'm going to arm the track. Okay, so not the main record, the little record here, and there it is. Okay, so I should hear. That's with the effect on. That's called Studio A, the preset there, effect program. Look, if I go, I'm going to bypass now. It's only coming out the one side. That is because we've got to go into our little channel setting here, input 1 and 2, and just select input 1. The signal path is a Fender Precision bass plugged into an Arturia audio fuse, which is connected to the iPad via USB, a USB-C to USB micro lead. Okay, let's have a look. So here we go. If I double tap on here, it'll open it big. Okay, let's have a listen. Bypass, yeah? Right. Bass amp on. So huge difference. If you listen with headphones on or with speakers on, you'll hear there's a big sound to it. Now, I am running it at the lowest latency I possibly can on the iPad. This is a 2018 iPad Pro as well, so I guess the fastest iPad there is. And unfortunately, the lowest you can go with the latency settings. I'll show you how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, come out of here. We're going to go in here, settings, and it's in this other settings, which takes us like to like iOS settings here. And if we have a look here, audio latency is 128, so essentially it's the fastest it can be on the iPad. Now, when you're playing synthesizers, that's pretty quick, but when you're playing through it, you can feel it. You can feel it a little bit. So let's go back into here and arm the track again. But it's okay. You can get away with it. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, look, I open up my effects, and here's a bunch of effects. So we're using Studio A, and let's just jump to Octave Fuzzy. Okay, so it kind of sounds a bit thin. It's got the octave on there. Let's go and have a look at the settings. Okay, now, interestingly, we've got two effect units. If it's green, it means it's post. If it's red, it means it's pre. So that's actually quite cool. So in this case, our octave fuzz kind of effect is happening before it hits the amplifier. If I press this now, it goes after. That sounds pretty nasty there. So let's put it back. Okay. So we've got a valve amp here. Let's have a look at our choices. Valve, okay, clean, LA Studio Jazz. Now these I guess are based on famous amps, but for copyright reasons you're going to have to kind of guess what they are. I'm guessing Valve is something like, if it's Ampeggy. Let's have a look at classic. Let's drive it up a little bit. Now I have to say, do not like these knobs. They look kind of shiny and nice in a way, but they're really difficult to see. There's a tiny little dot where it shows the settings. If I double tap, makes it full screen, that helps a little bit. I mean, they do look quite nice and quite realistic, but I would like to see them a little bit clearer what they're doing. However, if you tap on it, it tells you what the setting is. Now that's especially helpful with the effects. If you tap on it, it tells you what parameter it's affecting, because as opposed to edit 1, edit 2, depends on what effect you've got loaded into the slot. And they're very simple things because you only get like 2 parameters you can change on it. However, that's a little bit more like stomp boxy kind of thinking, I suppose, and it's in line with the Gadget simplified approach of things. Okay, bypass on. it's kind of nice, you know. Let's just say, let's try gold panel, which is probably like an Eden amp, like a nice session studio type amp, I suppose. Okay. Let's crank the gain up a little bit. Pull the bass. Let's scoop the mid actually. Let's try a mid scoop on there. A bit more treble. Let's take the cab off. A bit like kind of zipper noise. That's a bit annoying. Can you hear that? Just get a little bit of parameter sort of being, you know, they kind of stepped a bit too coarsely, really, I think. Or okay, let's flick the cab in now. Let's change some of these cabs. LA 4x10. Okay, so kind of got a bit more kind of width with that. No, this is metal, I guess. MTL. Yeah, it's got a bit more forward. CLS Classic 8x10, I guess. Well, it's got quite a lot of trousers, that has. Oh, so these two sound really different. Look between those two and this one. Interesting. So there's definitely quite a bit to explore within this. 2x15. Ah, funny there. Much tighter bottom end than I was expecting. Let's try that 4x15. I know Marshall used to do a 4x15. Massive cab. I remember this band had a purple one once. Enormous 4x15 cab. I don't know that those kind of things are around so much these days. Okay, let's go back to the LA one. Yeah, huge difference in the sound of these cabs. Well worth exploring. 4x12. 1x18. Now you have to bear in mind that the amp type is also going to have an effect on this. So with that 1x18 sound, gold panel, let's try LA Studio. Not so different. Yeah, so you can see the really strong tonal sound is coming from the speaker. Let's try a different speaker. Let's try the 8x10, the 8x10. Yeah, see, so different. Let's try that different amp here, valve. Now this is designed for bass, but I'm sure it would sound good on other things that you'd plug into it. Obviously you can't use this as a plug-in in Gadget, i.e. you can't put this in line and play another Gadget through it, sadly. That would be fun. But I mean, this is designed for an audio input. But certainly is designed for a bass guitar and is doing quite a good job of this actually. It's a shame there's no tuner button on there though. It'd be lovely to if they incorporated on these ones because they know people are going to be plugging in basses and guitars. Give us a tuner, Korg. Go on. It'd be easy and it would be really, 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 really nice. Okay, different patches. Wide stereo bass. Let's have a listen to this. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? interesting. The pre is the chorus is saying it's pre. Let's try putting that post. Oh no, nicer in the pre setting. Pre, post. Pretty subtle. Sounds a bit tighter, a bit more focused in the pre thing. Okay, let's try a different sound. Phaser bass. Ooh, I wonder. Quite a chewy phaser actually, sounds quite nice. Now, something I should mention, even though this is like giving you an array of things that you can do to the sound, you've also got the insert effects as well, which I'm guessing are happening after the sound of this. So for instance, I can go into this little menu here and I've got compressors, EQ. It's not the same effects though. There are dedicated bass effects, which is good inside of the Durbin. But if I went into the compressor, for instance, we can see that the compressor in Durbin is just a two knob affair, basically sensitivity and level. But if we use a channel compressor, then we've got like gain, threshold, ratio, attack and release, so like a fully featured compressor there. So it's kind of nice, you can mix the two ideas together. You know, we'd expect this on a DAW, but in the kind of gadget super fast workflow, it's pretty awesome. Let's hit that compressor now. Yeah, so I mean that's obviously whacking that compressor. Let's take the ratio down a little bit, put the threshold up a little bit. Let's knock the compressor off from the patch one. Bypass. Compress. Nice. So you can choose whether you want that more stomp boxy type approach or a more of a studio approach. So this is Durbin. It's good. It's really good. This new version of Gadget has got extra gadgets as well. Let's have a look. Type A, that's a MIDI out control module. I'm going to do another video, I think, about that because there's some very interesting things there. Essentially, you can turn Gadget into a sequencer for your Korg Volkers and other, you know, the mini log and the micro log, because it's got a bunch of presets specially set up with all, so you can automate those all of the functions. That's a smart move, Korg. What else have we got that's new? I think there is some other things that are new. Well, that Stockholm came out, I think, in the last major update, and that is essentially a Reason plugin, the Dr. Octo loop player from Reason. So it's interesting that like a little tiny bit of Reason has migrated over to Gadget. Oh, didn't see that coming. Okay, let's have a look. What else have we got? Pompeii is the Poly 6. I haven't actually got that installed, but also Memphis. Now, if you've got the MS20 app, it's brilliant because it now means we've got a Korg MS20, the full thing, inside a Gadget. Look how cool this is. Really cool. Nice. Sounds great, doesn't it? Let's try bass. Let's see. Let's jump ahead a little bit. Vibrato lead. Nice. Horizon lead. Okay, so it's the nice MS-20 sound. That's cool. It's really cool that that's inside a gadget. And it's nice that it's the full, because a lot of gadgets have got limited controls, but this has got loads of nice features. And also I can switch it to the patch bay. Yes, brilliant, really cool. Yes, we like that. So yeah, Korg, nice, keeping Gadget going. I like the new look of it. It's got this nice blue phase of blue colour across there, and just everything just looks a bit sharper and a bit more defined. And of course, this Durbin bass effects processor is actually really good. I'm quite fussy about these things, and I'm actually thinking I'm going to use this a lot more than I thought I was going to. Ha! Well done, Korg, for another good update, keeping Gadget, well, keeping it growing. I certainly think it's a really fun piece of software, and you know, I as well as playing synth, I love to play bass. You know, bass is mainly what I do, and now I've got a bass processor that I can plug into. I think I'm going to be spending a lot more time inside a Gadget again. You know, and just looking at all these modules, the old modules from the beginning, I still feel that I've got stuff to explore with them, and it's still a bunch that I haven't bought yet as well, which is cool. All of the modules which came from, all of the gadgets rather, that come from Korg module, you know, your electric pianos and organs and the like, they're okay. I mean, they're not up to the standard you might expect at VST level now, some of the latest ones, but they're still really good and usable and very musical sounding. Montpellier, of course, you know, which is the monopoly. And like the MS-20, it's the full thing. So if you've got the Monopoly app, you get this inside a Gadget, which is cool. And also, in a similar way, Lexington gives you a full ARP Odyssey with all of the parameters. That's pretty awesome, really. So Korg Gadget's proven to be very established piece of software now. Started off on the iOS platform, has migrated across now to the PC and the Mac. I think the iOS version of it still kind of makes sense. It's a shame that they are keeping it very much in its own ecosystem. There's no audio unit v3, AUV3 functionality on Gadget yet. I can kind of understand why they want to do that, but it does work, however, though, as an inter-app audio node. So if I was to open my favorite AUM, audio unit mixer, audio, I can choose then from the sources, I can go into my inter-app audio and we will find Gadget there. So I've now routed the output of Gadget into this mixer and can do extra processing on the mix of Gadget. So that's it. That's my little look at Korg Gadget 2.0, specifically Durbin, the bass amp simulator. Really cool. Think that's a really useful new gadget. I mean, I'm a bass player, so I would say that, but it's I'm definitely going to be plugging my bass in and having a jam round in this Gadget environment, which I enjoy. I enjoy the sort of simple, direct interface of Gadget, and it sounds really good. It really does sound good. And now having a decent bass amp, and that comes for free for iOS users, so that was a lovely little surprise for me this morning. That's why I felt inspired to make a video. Anyway, I'm Gaz Williams. Hope you enjoyed this, and see you next time.